Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Five Star Revolution podcast, the one and only official Five Star Revolution podcast with your host, CJ Price. Thank you for everything that you do to our listeners. We finally reached 500 likes on Facebook. Keep it up. Keep sharing the page. Keep subscribing to our YouTube channel, Five Star Revolution Podcast. Once we reach 1,000 likes, I'm personally giving away a $200 Visa gift card. So get to it. Tonight, we have a very special guest. He's a rookie on the rise in the independent wrestling world. His name is Justin Tyme. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, how's it going, man?
I appreciate your time here on the Five Star Revolution podcast.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited. It should be fun.
So let's start off from the beginning here. Were you a fan of wrestling growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. Since I was younger, I would say I was a pretty big fan. Me and my cousin, we used to beat up the stuffed animals and wrestle each other a lot. So I would say like wrestling. It was a big part of my childhood.
So who were your favorites growing up?
Uh, I'm gonna have to say I've always been a fan of like the smaller guys. So Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, those guys.
So you said that you've been in the business a little less than a year. What
Mhm.
made you get into it?
Um, well, I would say I don't know. I would just me and one of my good friends. We were thinking to ourselves since like COVID kind of happened, and we were getting a lot of money from the unemployment. I would say that that kind of pushed me to pay for some training and become a professional wrestler.
So where are you training right now?
I was trained originally at the House of Truth. I still train there. Yeah,
And who's the trainer there? Who's your main trainer there?
Truth Martini.
Truth Martine. Okay. Do you remember your first match? And if so, what do you remember from that match?
Oh man. My first match was Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and I want to say it was a six man, including myself, and a few other guys in the independent scene out here, and it was a fun match. It was a very dope match. It was elimination, so I was able to get elimination in that match, so that was fun.
For those fans who don't know about Justin Time, do you mind explaining a little bit what you're about?
Oh man, I would say I don't know. I'm a technical wrestler. I do a lot of submissions. Um, I don't know. I'm a chill guy. I guess. I guess you could say. I don't know. I would. Yeah. I would say that. I would say that.
So you're still trying to figure out who you are in wrestling.
Yeah. I would say so.
And who do you want to be? What do you want to evolve into?
Uh. Well, I would tell. I'm gonna tell you one of my goals, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Um. So I want to go to Japan and wrestle out there. One of my main goals is to become the IWGP Super Junior Heavyweight Champion out there. So I think that would be dope.
How do you plan on doing that?
Uh, um, I mean, it depends. Hopefully, when the time comes, the time comes.
So as a rookie, how do you get yourself out there to get into new promotions and your name out there?
I mean, I would say, I would say it takes a lot of hard work. It's definitely not something that happens overnight. Just paying your dues, man. Taking just trusting the process. I would say
What's your dream match?
my dream match. I don't know. There's a lot of guys that will wrestle. Um, Maybe Zack Saber Jr.
That's a great pick, man. He's a great technical guy. So what motivates you to be a pro wrestler?
I would say I don't know. I'm a very stubborn person, so I would say my ability not to like give up when times get harder, like I don't know, not taking no for an answer. I guess would I would say gives me the drive for it. Like I don't know. I'll also say the fans too, because the fans are a big part in wrestling, and
Why does wrestling mean so much to you?
why does it?
Yeah.
I just love it, man. It's like I said, it's been a big part of my childhood, and I don't know. I feel like it defines me as a person. So yeah,
If
yeah.
if there's one thing you wish you knew before you started wrestling, what would that be?
Oh man, how bad everything hurts.
So
Yeah.
piggybacking off that, what do you say to those people who think wrestling is fake?
Look, I have friends who've been injured way worse than I have that can vouch that it's not a joke. It's it's pretty painful.
Wrestling's not fake, man. I can tell you
Yeah.
that right now. There's no way that you can fake gravity. There's no way
Yeah.
that you can fake those bumps, those chops. No way.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is? You said that you're a submission wrestler, right?
hmm
What's your finisher?
So I do this move that I call the stopwatch, and it is a head scissors takedown, and I transition it into a Fujiwara armbar.
So kind of like MJF.
Yeah, I would say kind of like MJF, but instead of like just holding it, I bridge with it to kind of
Okay.
apply more pressure.
As a rookie in the business, have you shared any locker rooms with any legends or veterans we might know?
Um, yeah, I would say a few. Congo Kong is a pretty notable one. Rhino. Um, I shared a locker room with PD Williams. That was cool. Um, I don't know. It's I would say I meet a lot of Heath Slater is another one. Uh, but I would say like I meet a lot of wrestlers. So I don't know. I would say other than those guys, I would say I mean there's a lot of like local talent, out of state talent that's also really good too. So I'll say I just get the honor and privilege of meeting a lot of people. So
And do you try to prick their brain and try to ask them
oh yeah,
questions about
yeah,
business?
all the time, all the time. You always that's why I like history so much because you always learn from like your past, I guess. So I would say I learned a lot from the past wrestlers who came before me and what they had to go through and stuff like that.
Who do you look up to in the wrestling business?
I'm gonna base it off of work ethic. There's like I don't know. There's a lot of like hardworking wrestlers in the business. Uh, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, uh, hell, even the legends like Stone Cold, The Rock. I don't know. I would say it's a lot. I would base it off of work ethic. So I would say there's a lot of wrestlers that I look up to.
Would you say that social media is a big part of wrestling nowadays?
Yes, yeah. I feel like it's very easy to share a cool part, a cool moment in your match. So I feel like that helps get eyes on it as well as like uploading your matches to YouTube. So I would say, yeah, I would say social media does play a big part in wrestling nowadays.
As a rookie, how do you deal with backstage politics?
Oh man. Uh, I mean, I wouldn't say like there's a lot of backstage politics as everybody likes to think there is, but I haven't dealt with my fair share of backstage politics. So, I mean, I can't really answer that.
Okay, so what do you think it takes to make it to the big stage like WWE or AEW?
A lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, getting your reps in, going to the gym, studying, doing a lot of tape study. Um, yeah, just I would say it takes those and a lot more.
Would you say that in wrestling you would have to make a lot of sacrifices in life to be successful?
Yes, yes, I would definitely say that. I have my fair share of sacrifices, so I would say yeah, you would definitely have to sacrifice to get to where you want to be.
Mind sharing what you sacrificed to be in this business?
Um, I would say you are sacrificing a lot of time, a lot of spare time that you could be spending with loved ones or with a significant other. But if they understand that this is like something that you want to strive for and that this is your passion, that helps a lot. Um, yeah, I would say that. Amongst a lot of other stuff. Yeah.
What do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
Uh, hopefully still wrestling. Um, I know in this business, a career isn't guaranteed. A lot of injuries. I would say that the style of wrestling, although it's a lot like doper, like visually, it's also a lot dangerous. I mean, look at Will Ospreay, right? Like he's only been wrestling for a little bit. He ended up, breaking his neck. So I would say like a career isn't really guaranteed. So I would hope that I would still be wrestling in those 3 years.
Okay, so how do you deal with those veterans that you wrestle in a match? You have a few ideas that you want to do, but they just completely shun you out and say, "Hey, no, we're gonna do it this way instead."
I mean, I would say it happens, but I mean, you got to trust that the vet does know like certain stuff. Like they've been in the business longer, so it's kind of like it's. I would say it's more or less like kind of like a respect thing. You know, like they've been in the business longer. They know like how to safely like make sure like everything goes to plan. So
Would you say wrestling has changed your life? If so, how?
yes, I met a lot of my close friends because of wrestling. Um, I don't know. It's something that I wake up and enjoy every day. So I get the privilege to do that. So I would say wrestling is my life. I love it.
What's the longest drive you've done so far?
Longest drive. Um, probably going from New Jersey to Michigan. I would say that was probably like a solid like 10-12 hour ride.
Wow, that's a long drive, bro. Especially only like 9 months into the business. I applaud you there, man.
Thank
So
you.
when you do those long drives and you show up to the show, there's only like 20, 30 people in the crowd. Do you feel disappointed when you get there? If and how do you perform on those shows?
Not at all. I give my effort 110%, even if it was two people in the crowd. Those few people pay for the show, so I say you give them a performance of a lifetime.
I totally agree, man. You never know who's watching.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with those promoters that have heat with each other and they say, "Hey, man, you can't wrestle for that company. You can't wrestle for that company." How do you deal with that?
Um, I never personally dealt with that, so I couldn't answer that.
How would you deal with that though?
Um, I mean, at the end of the day, wrestlers are independent contractors, so like that's how we make our living based off of like how many shows we do and what promotions we go to, etc. So I mean, I would still like, depending on what kind of heat the promoter has. I mean, I would base my decision off of that.
I know you've had a short career so far, so you haven't been to a lot of places yet. But when you go to a new promotion, do you try to have the best match on the card, or do you just absorb it all in and just try to learn from everybody?
I would say both. I would say both. I'm usually trying to have one of the best matches on the card, and like while I'm there, soak in as much as I can.
So what goes through your mind before a match, before you step through that curtain?
Um, Hopefully I walk out. Okay. Um, nah, I mean, I just, I'm just relaxing my nerves and getting ready to go out there. I would say.
Have you been a heel in your career so far?
No, not at all.
So you don't know what a heel is being like. So you obviously like being a face, right?
I love being a face.
Why is that?
Uh, I love entertaining the fans. I love like if I can make a kid go home happy that one of their favorite wrestlers won a match, then like that, I think that's cool. So,
And how do you try to connect with that crowd? How do you try to make them cheer for you?
uh, I would say a mixture between cool looking submissions and technical stuff, and then a mixture of just being myself. I mean, naturally, I would say like I'm a very loud person, so I'm very loud in the ring. I'm very energetic. Um, so I would say like just giving them a lot of myself, as well as joke moves that they can remember.
Besides AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling, places like that, are there any promotions that you have your eye on that you want to debut for?
I wouldn't mind working at GCW. I think that would be a fun time. GCW. Let's see, OVW. I think that'd be cool. Um, yeah, I would say there's a lot. There's a lot on my list.
What's your take on intergender wrestling?
I love it. I feel like. I feel like if it why not a female could wrestle a male, right? Why not?
Have you done it?
No, but I wouldn't be opposed.
Are there any female wrestlers that you would like to get in the ring with?
Uh, not particularly, but I mean, if the opportunity comes, it comes. I would be willing to do it.
So, how do you deal with other rookies in the locker room?
Uh, what do you mean?
Like, those rookies that think they know it all and they think they're better than you.
I mean, I would say a lot of the rookies that I've met seem like pretty cool dudes. I wouldn't say I haven't met a lot of people that have a big head, especially rookies. So, I mean, like I have no experience with that, I guess.
All right. Do you have experience with not being happy about how you're being used on the card or a finish of a match?
Nah, nah. I feel like at the end of the day, the promoter knows what they're doing. So, and again, you just gotta like trust the process. So, I feel like if you trust the process, things will come.
What's your main goal in this world of wrestling?
I mean, like I said earlier, the IWGP Super Junior Championship. I feel like once I get that, I'll be fully content. But I mean, I wouldn't stop there. Um, but at least one of my big goals right now is that.
So, no WWE, no AEW.
I mean, if they hit me up, like I will. I mean, I wouldn't mind talking to them and like, but I mean, at least for right now, I would say that's my goal. I don't want to think too far down the rabbit hole.
So, you're a singles wrestler right now. Would you ever do a tag team?
I'm actually also in a tag team. I wrestle with this another independent wrestler named Solo, and we team out in this promotion called International Big Time Wrestling, and we're a tag team called the Hip Hop Express. But I mainly do singles action, so I'm not opposed to teaming. So
So what's piggybacking off that? What do you like doing better, singles or tag team?
I like both. I don't really have like a singular favorite. I like both.
I would say tag team for me because you gotta take less bumps and and you won't blow up as fast.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about the product today that's on TV?
Um, I would say some of it's dope, some of it not so much. I mean, if you want the podcast to last a couple hours of me nitpicking and choosing, um, we
You
could do
got
that.
you got a
But
couple minutes. Go ahead, man.
I mean, I don't know. I like that's something I would have to think about. But ultimately, like, there's some things that I do like about the wrestling business and like what I see on TV today, and then there's some aspects of it which I'm not too big of a fan on. But I would say that's because maybe A, it's not for me. Maybe it's directed for a different demographic, or B, I don't know. It's just I'm just not feeling it.
So, if there's one thing that you can change about wrestling, what would it be?
Um, I feel like a lot of people focus too much on the entertainment aspect instead of letting their matches tell a story. I feel like I would love to see a resurgence of wrestling where it's based off storytelling based in the match and not so much like different segments and stuff like that.
How do you deal with constructive criticism when you have a bad match or when you mess up?
Oh, I take it in. I accept it. I learn from it. I'm the type of person to watch my own matches and like just watch them back to back to see what I can improve on and what I can't. And if somebody has a critique for me, and I'm all ears.
Two-part question. Did you wrestle during COVID?
A little bit, not too much. I guess it depends on like what the laws were at the time. I would say.
So during COVID, there was not many wrestling fans in the crowd. Would you say a crowd is important for a wrestling show?
Um, yeah, I would say a crowd is super important, definitely, because you, I thrive off what the crowd gives me. How's it going? Yeah, just put it right there, please. Thank you. I'm sorry, my DoorDash order came through.
No problem, man. You better share some.
I got you. I got you. But yeah. I would say I thrive off the energy that the crowd gives me. So,
I know you're a rookie in the business and you haven't been inside the wrestling business for a long time. But if there's one piece of advice that you can give somebody that's trying to become a wrestler, what would that be?
uh, follow your dreams and trust your intuition. And no matter how hard it gets, don't give up. It's only the beginning.
Last question for you, Mr. Justin Time, because I know you gotta go. You got your food waiting, and then you want to eat it fresh, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What shows do you have coming up where we can see Justin Time in the next few weeks or few months?
I have quite a few shows. Pro Wrestling All Stars in Michigan. I'm going to. Uh, I would say IBW. Those are some shows that I'm going to. Um, I would say I got a lot on my calendar. But to stay up to date, quick shameless plug in. Follow the Twitter, follow the Facebook, follow the Insta, follow all that.
That was gonna be my next question. Where can our followers keep up with you on social media?
Uh, yeah, so Justin Time on Facebook and Justin Time 645 on Instagram.
Tyme.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, Mr. Justin Time, thank you so much for joining us here on the Five Star Revolution podcast. I
Thank you
hope
for.
all you listeners go over to Facebook right now and give us a like on Facebook, Five Star Revolution podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our Facebook page. Justin Time, enjoy your meal. and we wish you the best of luck in your career.
Dude, thank you. And thank you, 5 Star Podcast. I enjoyed myself. And I would say this is a podcast that you guys should definitely share, like, follow, do whatever you can to blow this man up, for real.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, man.